What? Yes, people, what's going on? It's Egal Talks About. We're back again with another video. Final video of the year. 2024 has been a wonderful year for me. We hit 30K. My son turned 1, my first child, and obviously so many other things in my life have gone so well for me. I'm blessed, truly blessed, and thankful for all your support, ladies and gentlemen, in the chat, in the comment section, and hopefully you all have a wonderful new year, and hopefully you had an amazing 2024, and hopefully you all have an amazing 2025. Thank you for all the support, ladies and gentlemen, and let's get this show on the right way. Now, before we go any further, I got a special guest on today's video to end the year 2024. One of my favorite Arsenal content creators out there, Dan Potts, is in the building. Happy New Year's, Dan. How you doing?
Love, man. Listen, Happy New Year to you and all of you that are listening. Big up for having me on, mate. I really appreciate it. And hopefully 2025 will be a good one for us Arsenal guys, man.
Yeah, there you go. So this is gonna be like a quick little video where we just talk about some of the topics. But before we go any further, this upcoming January window, no excuses. No excuses. We have to sign a major a major player that can improve this attack. Somebody that can raise the levels of this attack. Now, I don't want to hear about guys like Nuno Tavares coming back to Arsenal to help us. I don't want to hear about this guy or that guy or Reece Nelson coming back. None of that. We need to make a massive improvement. We need to go out there in the window and make a massive splash. And reports came out today, if anyone wants to know, about an hour ago, that because of Bukayo Saka's injury, we definitely will go out there, Dan, and make a splash in the January window. Good to hear. This is what we want to hear, but we don't know how much money that means we're going to end up spending. I'm seeing Isaac. I'm seeing Neto. Nico. I'm even seeing Kolomowani. And I'm not going to lie to you. I don't want Kolomowani. I don't want Nico Williams. And I don't think we're going to get Isaac. So all three of these players, it's probably not going to be them. We're going to have to look at others.
Yeah, we are. Like you, I don't want Marquinhos and Vieira coming back and us trying to make out like that's two new signings and that we go again. That is definitely not something I want to be seeing happening. Look, we're going to sign somebody, it looks like. And with Saka's injury, maybe, as much as I want him injured, maybe that's been the trigger to actually allow us to do something more than maybe we would have if he was still fit. Those players you've got there, Isak's the obvious one that we want, right? But that's not going to happen. If I'm honest, I don't even know if it will happen in the summer. It definitely won't happen in January. That then leads me to Victor Gyökeres, who I think with the release clause and someone who's on absolute fire, it would be fantastic. There's a lot of reports, however, suggesting that he might go in the summer and that actually it isn't really Arsenal that he wants and Arsenal don't want him. So it doesn't look like that one's going to be realistic. Then you look at Victor Osimhen as an option. I think there's a release clause. I think it's around about £65 million, which I think, to be honest, was probably a steal. 2 years ago, he was over 100 million. So if you can get him for that now, then maybe that's a good option. You and I have spoken off air about Marmoush, who I think can play up top and also left wide forward, which I think is a position we've been looking at. And then you've got the Premier League players that people will talk about: Kudus, Brian Mbeumo, Cunha, João Pedro. There's options there, man, for sure. Ademola Lookman is another one that people have spoken about. So all of these names are being thrown in the hat alongside the Nico Williams of this world. I just want it to be somebody who's on fire, on form, and that can take us forward. I don't want any of these Marcus Rashford rumors to come to Arsenal. I don't want any of the players that we've spoken about.
Let's put that to bed. Let's put that to bed. Everybody who's worried about Rashford joining Arsenal, it is official. Arsenal are not moving for Rashford. It is going to be unlikely, highly unlikely, that Rashford move to Arsenal materializes. Meaning the money won't make sense, the wages won't make sense, and it's just not going to happen. So we don't have to worry about Danny Welbeck 2.0 or Kai Havertz 2.0 or Jesus 2.0, another player where we signed from another club that comes into our team that we have to worry about. So thankfully, that is not going to be a worry, Dan. And you must be happy to hear this.
Oh, listen, I didn't want him. I didn't want him anywhere near the club. I've actually been one who's been very vocal about Marcus Rashford being overrated. I also believe that he is a player that has something wrong upstairs. And I don't mean mental health problems, by the way. I mean his mentality, his winning mentality, his professionalism. There's something wrong with this guy, man. Throws Teddy in the corner when it don't go well. Sulks off the pitch. This guy's on 375k a week.
Maybe he's
Should be
just
at pace for
heartbroken.
Man United.
Maybe it's not mentality. Maybe he's just
Maybe
heartbroken.
it's his relationship problems. Yeah,
There
maybe.
you
But
go.
no, it's
His
not for me,
girlfriend
man.
left him for Love Island, bro. It's mad.
Yeah, and she's fit as well, so fair play to him. But yeah, he's not for me, man. He's not for me.
Also, just to mention this, I don't want nothing to do with young Bellingham. Let's stay away from signing these fringe players and let's focus on trying to get improvements to fix the first team because that's what we need right now. We're not in a situation like Chelsea or Man United or even Tottenham where we're scooping up young talent. We need to be looking at improving the first 11 as much as possible, and I just don't think this improves the first 11 enough. So stay clear of that.
Not for me.
Arteta spoke about priorities in January window, looking at forwards for the next month. Great to hear Arsenal out in the window, but it's time to talk about the Cronkies. People saying Cronky out if they don't invest. I think they're willing to invest. And hearing the report that the money is an issue for Arsenal Football Club, they're well within profit and sustainability regulations, and only construct on spending will be by the Gunners on means. So does that mean the Cronkies on means, or does that just mean that? What do you think that means? Because when I hear stuff like this, that means profit and sustainability is not an issue, and the Cronkies are the ones that are being cheap. That's what they're trying to say.
Well, I've always had my doubts over the ownership, you know that, and they have showed a lack of ambition to get us in a position where we can get across the line. There's always been the kind of era, hasn't there, of when we had the Ozil and Sanchez's, we didn't really have the defensive midfielder. When we had the attackers, we didn't have the defense, and when we have now the defense, we don't have the attack. It's like, when are we going to complete this squad? And the ownership has definitely been a problem, no doubt about it. In 20 years that they've been here, or the best part of, 200 million pounds out of their pocket in that 20 million a year, really? Come on, man, you're billionaires. When you can go and get that Jokic or whatever his name is from over in America and go and put the Ram Stadium in the place that it is. I want to be seeing ambition. And if the money is not an issue, Egal, then go splash it in January, man. I'm looking at the Cronkies.
Apparently, the 50 million was there in the summer for Nico Williams. It's just Nico Williams didn't want to join. Now, if he wants to join, the money's still there for him in January. But
Well,
as
let's
we
go
were
and
talking
spend
about
it.
it on your show, is Nico Williams really that much of a level raiser?
Not the way he's playing. Not the way he's playing. And this is why I said we've got to get the right players that are on form, that are ready to hit the ground running. Now, Nico Williams has got an unbelievable amount of potential. I think there's a ceiling there, and we've seen it in the Euros. But Marmoush is killing it. Lookman's been playing well. Maybe that's a better option on the left-hand side. And if you're looking at Cunha and Buemo and Kudus, they're doing well in the Premier League and they're Premier League proven. So maybe they're less of a risk than Nico Williams. I think, look, we all have our order of priority, right? If you said to me you can have any left winger out there, I'll go and buy Kvaratskhelia from Napoli. That's who I'd go and get. But we're not getting him. So you've got to look at who's out there currently that's available and realistic. And I think that those
I
options
would take
are all
I would
pretty
take
realistic.
Nico Williams, and I would also add Marmoush also. Is that
Okay.
crazy?
No, it's not crazy. I think
That
Nico
would,
can play
you know how
right
much
as
that
well.
would cost us? 90 million for two attackers. Does that not sound better than just getting Kudus for 100?
100%, bro. 100%. 100%.
Also, Kolomowani, keep him away from Saliba. Keep him away from Arsenal Football Club. We don't need more players who are underperforming at their current club that have never hit the heights that they've been able to hit earlier in their careers, coming to this team and just being relied upon. I think this is another player who's underperformed at PSG, and maybe he gets a move to a lesser club. He'll definitely perform. But at Arsenal, Kolomowani, is he even better than Kai Havertz?
I don't think Colin Mawani is anything of a needle mover at all. If you look at what Jesus and Havertz offer, is he going to do much more than that? Not for me,
No,
bro. Not for
no.
me.
Definitely not. And then finally, just quick, looks like Neto could be on the move if we end up signing another goalkeeper in the January. Raheem Sterling is going to stay. Nuno Tavares, his permanent move has not been 100% agreed yet. So Lazio could potentially miss out on Nuno Tavares, and Arsenal then will be able to sell him to somebody else. And it looks like Fabio Vieira will be staying, but his long-term future at Arsenal will be in doubt. But he will definitely be staying in Porto and will unlikely to be coming back in January. Enough about that. Let's now talk about the actual players we'd want. So we spoke about Marmoush. We spoke about all these other guys. Who's your number one guy then? If you could sign one player, because
My
we
number
can
one.
admit we can admit a striker is not going to happen. It's probably going to be a winger.
Mm. So look, if I had my way in it as a number one, then I would buy a striker, and it would be Victor Gyökeres. But if we're talking about wingers now, and we're not talking about strikers and saying that there's a wide forward out there that we should try and get, I would say that it would probably be out of the names mentioned, it would either be one of Lookman or Marmoush, I think. And that's mad because they play left, but I actually do believe that a left-hand side is something that we need some spark with. I don't think Martinelli and Trossard are cutting it right now. I think Jesus can play wide for now, and you could probably put one of them guys that we sign over there. A lot of people say Kudus, but I think for 85 million or even more, that's an absolute madness for me. I don't think we should be doing that. I don't think we should be going up to West Ham and saying, here's 95 million. I know he's 85 in the summer. We'll give you 95 now. I think that's madness. I think that's crazy money. So I think I'm looking at potentially Adamola Lookman or Marmoush, to be fair.
Do you know what's going on in Atlanta? They're in a title
Well,
race, bro.
well, they're not going to sell Lookman then. They're not going to sell Lookman. So
They're-
maybe Marmoush is the guy, man. He's
Marmoush,
flying. He's
it
absolutely
seems like
flying.
Marmoush is the guy, and he's been doing it for 2 seasons. So anybody who's saying why him, but you know the other person we're linked to, we were linked to Marcus Thuram from Inter,
Yeah,
top goal scorer in the Serie A.
I
No
like
chance,
Marcus Thuram. I like Marcus Thuram. I've always liked Marcus Thuram. When he was at Gladbach, I liked Marcus Thuram, but I don't think Inter Milan are selling him. And I think that's what we've got to look at, because you've got to look at who you want, if the club are willing to sell him, and if he would be a great player at Arsenal. And if you get them three things, I think we're good. Marmoush, I think they would sell because, look, Frankfurt are doing very well at the moment. Don't get me wrong, Bundesliga, they're flying. Marmoush has made it very clear he wants to come to the Premier League. And if the money's right, and I think that Frankfurt aren't a club that are going to say, give me 900 million, they're going to be realistic as well. I think that's the guy that we could look to get.
How about this? We go and sign Marmoush and Danny Almo, because Danny Almo potentially could be a free transfer
I
from
would say that
Barcelona.
would be a fantastic window, fantastic January window. If we can
Because
get that over the line, it sounds like they're trying to sort it out, Barcelona. But if they don't, and Danny Olmo's free, we need to go and get him and Marmoush. That is a fantastic January transfer window, mate.
yeah,
If that happens,
because some of the stuff I was hearing a couple days ago, I'm not gonna lie to you, just looking at this image and the 4 players on the screen, it looks hella underwhelming. This is what we were
look,
talking about.
I don't want to disrespect them. Rashford, by the way, get out. But the other three, I don't want to disrespect because they're actually on form and they're doing well. I'm a big fan of Cunha. I like Brian and Buemo, and I like Semenyo. But are any of those guys going to take us across the line for a title? Not for me. Not
Bro,
for me.
some Arsenal IT some of the Arsenal guys are telling me Semenyo could be like Armani. And I'm like, I just don't see it.
I like him, and I like Cunha, and I like Mbuemo. And out of all three of them, I actually think Mbuemo is the one that's been doing it the longest, to be fair, consistently. But Cunha has got something a little bit special. I think Semenyo has been really good player, and I think that if I was to compare him to anybody, it would be like Bournemouth signing him from Bristol City is like Palace signing Eze from QPR. That's the kind of level I look at. Excuse me. So I do think he's a baller. I do think he's a good player, but look, I take him as a squad player, but he's not going to take us across the line, is he?
Oh,
Let's just
forget about Dani Almo. It's official. He's
there you
staying
go.
at Barcelona. They
I thought
just
he was
got
going to be. Yeah.
they're just about to get it sorted. So yeah, if I'm gonna sign 2 players, bro, Nico Williams and Marmoush, that is a 10 out of 10 window. Just those two.
If we can get those two, I'll be happy with that because that
What are
sorts
you
out the
rating it?
left-hand
I know
side of us.
you don't rate Windows 10 out of 10. What are you rating it?
No, I'm not making it a 10 out of 10. Crikey. If we do that though, I'll tell you what I'll say. If we get 2 attackers in, I will rate it an 8 out of 10, like everyone told me the summer one was. Because if we get 2 attackers in January, that is a phenomenal bit of business because it's hard to do. And I think it would actually take us to the next level of what we want, depending on who they are, of course. If we went and got like Rashford and I don't know, like and Kunku, then no, I wouldn't give it an 8 out of 10. But if we go and get 2 players that I think that, like you're mentioning, that would be a very good window, mate. Yeah.
We are linked to Nkunku. Would you take him?
No. No, I don't
Yeah.
think if he's not good enough for Chelsea, why would he want to come to Arsenal? I had enough of Chelsea players, man. None more of this Chelsea. Who don't you want? Man United, who don't you want? Oh, we'll have you Rashford, and we can give you, Johnny Evans if you want. Nah, let's stop this crap. Like, let's just stop getting players that they don't want. Let's go and get our own. Let's go foreign. Let's go abroad. Why do we have to go to the Premier League? Let's go abroad. Let's go get Marmoush. Let's go see what Lookman
Scouts,
said. Let's go look at Victor Osimhen or Victor Gyökeres. These are the sort of players I would be happy for Arsenal to be looking at, man.
you know what happened to scouting, bro?
Well, I don't think it happens anymore, bro. Unless you're Brighton.
Anyways, yeah, we're gonna leave it there, guys. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this video. Happy New Year's, guys. Last video of the season, last video of the year. And then, before we go any further, how on earth did we finish with the most points, the most clean sheets, the best goal difference in a calendar year, and still lose the league by 2 points? And now we're 9 points behind Liverpool in the league
Do you know
again.
what's mad? I said this on my show. It's unbelievable because Arsenal had an unbelievable season in two ways. One, it was unbelievable in terms of quality and how we were winning games and who we were beating. And it's unbelievable that we ended up not lifting something, man. So that's what we got to put right in 2025, bro. Lift some silverware.
Facts. We're gonna leave it there, guys. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this video. Dan, thank you for joining me. And
Happy
big up
New
everyone
Year,
who
man.
watched. Happy New Year, man. Catch you guys in 2025. Peace.